Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Collector. Welcome to my nerd cave. So, I woke up early today on a Saturday to go to yard sales and whatnot, and all it really did for me was refuel my fiery hatred of Friday yard sales. Because if somebody has a yard sale on Friday and Saturday, I may as well just not even go because it's just a waste of time. Because every time I go to a yard sale on Saturday, I get the same thing. Yeah, I had games, but I sold them yesterday. Like, god damn it. And I can't go to Friday yard sales because I work from Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock in the morning. And it's just like, and Friday's kind of an important day for me to go to work. So I have to submit the timesheet and all that, and it's just infuriating. But I wound up actually at a flea market too. A small one in my area. Because flea markets are kind of dying around here. The good ones are all gone, so it's just this one that we've had for every weekend for like years, decades even. But yeah. So I did go to a rummage sale at the Civic Center though, and I picked up a few things there. So I'm gonna go through that first, and then go through what I picked up at the little flea market deal. First and foremost, I picked this up for a quarter. I don't even know if it works, and I may even already have this one. Someone wanted the Silly Slammers from the 90s and see 25 cents. So, yeah. The rest of these I grabbed for, I think, 3 for $1, and I wound up paying $2.50 for everything. So, and I don't even like really know who all of these characters are, but there were a handful that I recognized. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll grab them, and a couple of them I've already got. But I was like, yeah, whatever, trade bait or whatever. Probably not going to get much for it, but I didn't pay much for it, so it's like, whatever. This guy is from the 90s. Like, I could barely make out the date on his leg. Lex Luthor, maybe? No. I don't know. I'm going to have to Google some of these guys to pinpoint who they are. So, there's that. This is from the Robin Hood line, I believe. It's one of the Kevin Costner figures. Of course, I've already got those, so that's a double. Go through some of the ones that I don't know what they are first. Then there's this guy. Like I said, I don't know. Those are to be Googled. Those are doubles. This guy is from some toy line, and I can't quite remember what it is. Very familiar. I'm just drawing a blank on what he's actually from. So, yeah. But, yeah, so he's a Googleable one. This is from the Superpowers line, I believe. The superheroes from, like, 70s, I think. And I know who he is. He's a Riddler. So that's pretty dope to find. Did not have him. I think he's from the same line, and I'm pretty sure I might already have this one. And it's Robin. Back when he wore, I don't know, a Speedo. Okay, yep. A couple more here that I don't quite recognize. So, I got him. I believe he is also from the Robin Hood line from the 90s, so I've definitely already got him because I got that entire toy line. So, yeah. And all of mine in that toy line are complete. Like, they got their robes and weapons and everything, so. Let's see. Kind of looks familiar. You know what? This might be Little John from that line. So, yeah. Here is another one that resembles a couple of the other figures that I don't recognize. He's made the same, so he might be from the same toy line. I don't know. It might be something worth collecting. I don't know. So, this guy, if he would focus. Yeah. This one I obviously recognize. Toy line that I want to get into is RoboCop. Of course, he's missing his helmet, but yeah. This one is a double, and I do know who he is. This is the axe-wielding dude from Last Action Hero, who I've actually had 2 of at some point, so he's a super common figure, so I'm not going to get much for him. If I, like, I don't know, I could probably bundle some of these together. So, yeah. I love Last Action Hero, by the way. And then these last few, I do know who they are. Of course, we got Arnie, a Terminator figure that I'm not sure if I've got or not. I'm looking, and he might be in the back row, so I'll have to see if I've already got him. From the 90s Toy Biz line, I do believe. Oh, wait. Was it 1980 something? So maybe one of the Superpowers figures. Dr. Doom. Which I do not believe I have. And then he is definitely from the 90s Toy Biz line. Yep, Toy Biz, 1994 Marvel. So, and I'm obviously a big fan of those. I don't recognize the character, but obviously I love that particular toy line. They're just so simple, and I don't know, I like them. So, yep, he's going in the collection. Now then, we're going to get into the flea market stuff, which is all video games. And I paid more than I wanted to because the main guy that I went to, he actively sells. Like, he's a collector too, apparently, but he makes a lot of money just selling too. So I didn't get as good a deal as I usually like to get when I go to flea markets or yard sales. But he still cut me a pretty decent deal for what I got from him. And let me see if I can differentiate those from what I picked up a few minutes later. Yeah, those I got later. And those I got later. That I got later, so... Yeah, okay, so these are what let's go through what I picked up later, because I paid $6 for this stack right here. This is a separate seller, and they loved my shirt, too. The Power Ranger NES shirt, so, yeah. Picked up for PS2 Star Trek Encounters, which I don't know if I own, but like I said, I paid $6 for this whole stack. Burnout 3 Takedown. I love the Burnout games. I'm not sure if I own this particular Burnout. Burnout Revenge, which again, I don't know if I own this particular Burnout, but I love the Burnout games, so. Picked up Ridge Racer Type 4 for PS1. No manual, I don't think, so, but still. I'm pretty sure I don't own that. And then this one I picked up just loose and kind of throw in deal. It's the Spider-Man manual, and it comes with a disc. I may have the game, but I think this might be one that I needed the manual for. Unless it's the second one I'm thinking of that I needed. But anyway, it's just good to have an extra manual and disc. So, okay, get out of the bag. There, here, play with the bag. Or, now that I've emptied the bag, she does not want to play with the bag. So, yeah, this is what I got from the seller / collector. And he bundled me up a pretty decent deal. So I got Dash Galaxy and the Alien Asylum for the NES. This one with the manual and a little sleeve. Mylon's Secret Castle for the NES. So, yeah, I did not have it, and it came with a manual, so, and for $8, you know. Well, less because of bundle. But. And I got Little Nemo Dream Master. Also picked up for the PS1 Sheep, which has been on my radar, and I've kind of been curious about it, but like never actually kind of found it, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll pick that up. For the Wii, I picked up Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is, you know, dope. Kind of wanted to buff up the Wii collection a bit, so. As well as for the Wii, Super Mario Galaxy. Surprised I don't own this already, but yeah, Mario Galaxy. I also don't own the sequel, so I need to pick that up at some point. Never actually played them. My nephew played it, though, and I kind of watched a little bit of him playing it, and it looked dope as shit, so yeah, Mario Galaxy. For the PS1 in a long box, which I grabbed because it's in a long box, Siberia, which looks kind of cool. So, but, you know, man, I love my long box PS1 games. This one I grabbed because I remember playing it when I was like maybe 10 at my cousin's house, and I really enjoyed it. And the Mummy games are pretty cool on the PlayStation systems. And of course, this is a spin-off of the Mummy 2. It is Scorpion King: Rise of the Akkadian, which because I played it as a kid, I was like, you know what, I want to put it on my want list, and so now I've got it complete. So yeah, it's a third-person action-adventure game. So, and last but not least, well, maybe least, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. This is an Xbox-only game, which looks kind of tactical. It's Steak Fortune Fighters. Yeah, fighters. So bump up that original Xbox exclusive line there. And yeah, there you have it. So slim pickings, spent a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but got decent deals and got a pretty nice little stack of stuff for the first time in a while, as far as like games and retro figures go. So can't complain too bad, but stick around because I think I might just film a collection video this morning. That way I don't forget to do it later. But anyway, I've been the Nostalgia Collector. Remember, physical media will never die, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.